6:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Dilini Gunawardena, assisted by Sanjay, and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The Uma Oil project is to be commissioned on Wednesday. President calls on the chief prelates of the Malwathu Askiri chapters. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena will pay an observatory visit to Anuradhapura tomorrow. Sri Ramayan Trails unveils a new chapter in Sri Lanka's spiritual and cultural journey. The Sri Lanka pharmaceuticals industry is to reduce 30% pharma imports by 2030. Foreign news: Israel military intelligence chief quits over 7th October. And in sports, it's badminton. 3 Sri Lankans are to officiate at the BWF Thomas and Uber Cup Finals 2024. A discussion took place today between Minister Pavitra Wanyarachchi and the Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran in Sri Lanka, Dr. Alireza Delkosh. The discussion was on arrangements of the launching of Uma Oil Multipurpose Development Project, which is scheduled to be held on Wednesday. The minister said that the Uma Oil Multipurpose Development Project will be declared open under the leadership of President Ranil Wickremesinghe, and Iran's President Dr. Ibrahim Raisi will grace the occasion on Wednesday. The minister observed the 2 reservoirs that collect water required for the production of electricity in the Uma Oil project and the underground power plant in Alla Karandakolla area. Speaking to the media after the observation visit, the minister said that it is a great achievement to be able to produce 120 megawatts of electricity through the Uma Oil Multipurpose Development Project and connect it to the national power grid. She pointed out that the production of electricity worth between 1,000 and 15,000 acres of paddy fields in the Monragala and Badula districts is directly used for the cultivation of both the Yala and Maha seasons after the production of electricity. President Ranil Wickremesinghe called on the chief prelates of the Malwathu and Askiri chapters yesterday to seek their blessings. First, President Ranil Wickremesinghe visited the Malwathu Mahaviharaya and paid his respects to the chief prelates of the Malwathu chapter, the Most Venerable Tibbatuave Sri Sumangala Nayaka Thera, followed by a brief discussion. The Anunayaka of the Malwathu chapter, Most Venerable Dimulkumbre Vimala Dhammathera, was also present. Thereafter, President Ranil Wickremesinghe proceeded to the Askiri Mahaviharaya, where he met with the chief prelates of the Askiri chapter, Most Venerable Varakagoda Sri Gnanaratana Thera, and engaged in a brief discussion. During the visit, the Mahasangha, led by chief priest of Mutiangana Rajamahaviharaya, Venerable Murudeniye Dhammaratna Thera, recited Setpirit and invoked blessings upon the president. In a landmark event that promises ushers new era of spiritual connectivity and cultural resurgence, Sri Lanka proudly launched the Sri Ramayan Trails project. This initiative was unveiled in Colombo on Sunday. President Chief of Staff and National Security Advisor Sagala Ratnayaka graced the occasion as the chief guest. The Sri Ramayan Trails aims to transform 9 key sites across Sri Lanka into world-class monuments, epitomizing the spiritual and historical essence of the epic Ramayana. The project is not just about building structures, but crafting immersive experiences that blend ancient spirituality with the marvels of modern architecture and cutting-edge technology. From Adams Bridge in the Mana Basin to Sita Elia in Nuwara, each site is chosen to tell a part of the Ramayana story in a way that is tangible and transformative. These sites will serve as beacons of cultural heritage and spiritual introspection, drawing visitors from around the globe. This news comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The United States Navy, U.S. Marine Corps, and Sri Lanka Navy will partner for the Cooperation Afloat Readiness and Training Sri Lanka 2024 exercise from today to the 26th of April in Trincomalee. The training will feature the expertise of the U.S. Fleet Anti-Terrorism Security Team, a U.S. Marine Corps unit specialized in security and anti-terrorism for naval assets, engaging alongside their Sri Lankan Navy Marine counterparts on a full spectrum of naval capabilities. The exercise includes Women, Peace and Security Symposium on the 24th of April to promote the vital roles women play in peace negotiations, conflict management and resolution, With approximately 70 U.S. personnel working with their Sri Lanka military partners, this fifth iteration of this bilateral marine exercise underscores the strong partnership and shared commitment of the United States and Sri Lanka to maintain a free and open Indo-Pacific region. Senior members of the Sri Lanka Chamber of Pharmaceuticals Industry opine that Sri Lankan pharmaceutical industry will be able to reduce around 30% of total pharma imports by 2030. They said that one of the main reasons for this is to buyback guarantee that was presented by the government for pharma manufacturers. According to them, this has prompted many local companies to invest in Sri Lanka, and today there is a very strong local supply in the market. They further expressed confidence that pharma exports too will take place soon. Currently, over 15% of the market is made of local manufacturing, which is a significant increase with the last decade. Local manufacturing capacity is expected to increase to approximately 30% by 2030. Today, the local pharma industry is worth $500 million, out of which $300 million is made up of private sector and $200 million is a tender government sector. The pharma sector, including both state and private, generates 172.13 billion rupees, out of which 129.13 billion rupees is from the private sector. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
Minister Dr. Bandula Gunadana will pay an observatory visit to Anuradhapura tomorrow in order to oversee the progress of several development projects. He will observe the constructions near the railway stations of Galgamuwa and Talawa. Renovation of Jaffna Junction Railway Crossroad will commence tomorrow. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
Moving on to Watchlight this evening. The deadline for issuing national identity cards for individuals over the age of 40 who still do not possess one was extended to the 30th of June. The Commissioner General of the Department of Registration of Persons, Pradeep Saputantri, says this program is being implemented for individuals who have not been able to obtain a national identity card due to the absence of a birth certificate. The Department of Registration of Persons says the issuance of national identity cards for such individuals was effective until the 31st of March, and the new decision was taken following requests made by the divisional secretaries, and that came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
The headlines first. Israel military intelligence chief quits over 7th October. Media say pro-China party wins Maldives election in landslide, and tens of thousands are evacuated from massive China floods. The Israeli military's intelligence chief has resigned, saying he took responsibility for the failures before Hamas' attack on Israel on 7th of October. The Israel Defense Forces said Major General Aharon Haliva would retire once his successor was selected. In a letter, he acknowledged that his intelligence directorate did not live up to the task they were entrusted with. He is the first senior figure to step down over the attack, which was the deadliest in Israel's history. Media reports Maldives voters handed President Mohamed Musu's party a landslide win at parliamentary elections, an outcome set to shift the Indian Ocean archipelago closer to China. According to a preliminary result from the Maldives Election Commission and media projections, Musu's People's National Congress won 65 of the 93 seats up for grabs on Sunday. The main opposition Maldives Democratic Party dwindled to just 12 seats from 65 earlier. Musu's post as president is not affected by Sunday's vote, in which 368 candidates contested for 5-year terms. Authorities have evacuated nearly 60,000 people from their homes in Guangdong as days of heavy rain caused massive flooding in China's most populous province. 3 people have died so far, while 11 have gone missing, according to state media. Several major rivers have burst their banks, and authorities are closely monitoring dangerously high water levels. They had warned that the level of river in northern Guangdong could hit once in 100 years peak this morning. And back to the headlines of the world news. Israel military intelligence chief quits over 7th October. Media say pro-China party wins Maldives election in landslide. And tens of thousands are evacuated from massive China floods. And that ends World News. On to development news. The Chongqing Airline recently announced a new international route from Chongqing to Colombo and Male starting June 24th, marking its first use of the fifth freedom of the air. The fifth freedom of the air, also known as third country transportation rights, allows an airline to transport paying passengers between foreign nations as part of flights originating from its own country. Using the Chongqing-Colombo-Male route as an illustration, Chongqing Airline has obtained the fifth freedom of air. This enables it to stop in Colombo, the capital of Sri Lanka, to pick up and drop off passengers and cargo on its way to Male, the capital of Maldives, thereby enhancing its passenger and cargo services. And that was development news.
Moving on with sports news.
The prestigious Thomas Uber Cup finals are to kick off from the 27th of April to 5th of May in Chengdu, China. Organized by the Badminton World Federation, or BWF, the Thomas Cup finals for men and Uber Cup finals for women are among the most significant events in the global badminton calendar. This year's competition will feature 16 top-ranked teams from around the world, making its highly anticipated event. A total of 26 referees will officiate at the prestigious event, representing 19 countries. Among these are 3 Sri Lankans, including Rohana De Silva, Lakpriya Edirisinghe and Chaturanga Vishwanath, who will be aiming to make a mark on the global stage. And that was sports news.
Go ekak thiyana youth ekata life ekේ change ekata niyamata set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship ekata menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
On to business news. To mark World Water Day, Amana Bank partnered with the Environment Committee of the Faculty of Arts at the University of Colombo to promote awareness of water conservation and sustainable practices. Aligned with the global theme Water for Peace, the university organized a poster competition for undergraduates and facilitated a platform for emerging researchers and scholars to present their work and participate in insightful academic discussions. Gracing the occasion, Professor Lasantha Manamadu, the Dean of the Faculty of Arts, delivered an inspiring address highlighting the importance in fostering a more water-conscious society. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak thiyana youth ekata life ekේ change ekata niyamata set wenna as wahagena dakapu hina habe karanna youth ekata niyamata set wenna friendship ekata menna.
The all-new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news. The Department of Census and Statistics revealed in its latest report that the overall rate of inflation, as measured by the National Consumer Price Index on year-on-year basis, has been decreased to 2.5% in March 2024 compared to 5.1% in February 2024. Meanwhile, the contributions to the inflation rate of March 2024 from the food group and non-food groups are 2.1% and 0.4% respectively. And that was economic news.
Weather report.
Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central and northwestern provinces and in the Galle and Mathura district and also in the Anuradhapura district in the evening. Showers or thundershowers may occur at a few places in the Uva and northern provinces and in the Polonnaruwa district during the afternoon or night. Showers or thundershowers will occur in the western and coastal areas during the morning too. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamuwa, central and Uva provinces and in the Ampara district during the morning. Well, that was the report. Prior to concluding, the headlines again. The Uma Oya project is to be commissioned on Wednesday. President calls on the chief prelates of the Malwatu and Askiri chapters. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunodana will pay an observatory visit to Anuradhapura tomorrow. Sri Ramayan Trails unveils a new chapter in Sri Lanka's spiritual and cultural journey. Sri Lanka pharmaceutical industry is to reduce 30% pharma imports by 2030. Foreign news: Israel military intelligence chief quits over October 7th. And sports, it's badminton. Sri Lankans are to officiate at the BWF Thomas and Uber Cup Finals 2024. And with that, we end this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. And it's over to Marila Vandot on the other side to keep you company this Monday evening. Over to you, Marila.